Welcome back to the POPcast. I see you guys are all mad. What's up, guys?
Who's mad?
Everybody
What's
mad.
up, Speedy? I see you got a microphone there. What's going on?
Yeah, this is the microphone that I bought for radio, so I can broadcast wherever I am. So I figured, hey, why not use it for the POPcast today?
Ooh,
Very necessary.
Oh, is that scoop? Yeah.
That broadcasting from wherever you are might be very necessary as this COVID and Corona gets more wings.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's actually getting very tricky, especially for a lot of people. I know even at the SABC, they're trying to find other ways for us to kind of broadcast. A lot of us are broadcasting from home as well, just to decrease the amount of people who are going into the building. So it is what it is. Welcome to 2020.
Yeah. But it's also
Yeah,
really
man.
cool.
No need,
It's also really cool for traveling, you know. I think for the longest of times with radio OBs, OB stands for Open Broadcast for the people that don't know. It's very costly. You got to get a telecom line. You got to get a whole bunch of things. So they've made things a lot easier. All you need is this literally a little mic, your laptop, and internet, and you can broadcast from wherever you are.
Coming with the facts.
Yeah, facts. Facts
So,
machine.
Noni, you were saying, like, on this subject, let's speak about how it's changing our broadcasting. You know, you were speaking about it. So
Basically it's just changing the ways that we kind of have to do certain things. So like I mentioned, a lot of us are broadcasting from home. Some people we're having to kind of pre-record certain portions. Like a lot of my interviews, I used to do a lot of in-studio interviews. I used to bring a lot of people into the building, obviously to kind of decrease the amount of people who go in. A lot of stuff has to be done prior to the actual radio show. So if I need to do an interview, I need to then record it and then play it out on air later at a later stage. So it's getting quite hectic now. But I also think it's important for us because we need to stay home and stay safe. So we need to find other ways to actually still give people the product. Like we are here, we're not together, we're on Zoom, but we're still making sure that
it's so tricky. Though with the load shedding, because you remember like the first couple of months we weren't having load shedding, but now that there's load shedding, it's so tricky because I mean I was shooting a TV DJ set yesterday, and literally as I started my set there was load shedding. I had to wait 2 hours. Then we have to, you know what I mean? So it's so tricky, man. They must choose one. Are you giving us lockdown or are you giving us load shedding?
I mean, even last week, Noni was going through her load shedding debacle. Today, I'm going through my load shedding debacle, and it's just I have a laptop that's charged, and I'm actually using the internet from my phone. You know, so you are right. It's very tricky.
Makes sense. That's why it's a bit unstable. We'll excuse you. No problem.
Sure. Yeah, but they'll say, "I value Scoop's Wi-Fi is always unstable."
Hey. Anyway, we'll talk about. They love talking about you, Scoop. You're a topic of discussion these days.
Yeah, well,
we're gonna get into Scoop and his conversation a little bit later on in the show. But speaking of COVID, the one and only Super Mega sent out a press release with regards to the fact that he tested positive for COVID-19, and I think it's also hit a lot of people at home because it's getting real now. Like, it's not even just like random people that you hear, there's stories here, there's people posting here, but now it's like, okay, people that we actually know and we can recognize getting the virus, and it's just showing how serious we need to kind of take it. So I think it was brave of him to actually post the press release because that's obviously putting him on a platform for people to either belittle him or to either then say shout outs to you because you're being brave enough to talk about your story. And obviously it was those people who were saying, this thing is just a ploy, you're being paid. Yeah. Not everybody gets paid to say things.
Yeah. But Keenan also made the mistake of tweeting that he might get paid for it. You know, that's maybe where people get that perception from, because I know another friend of mine who actually had it and has recovered, Lady G. This was like early days of COVID-19.
She was one of the first to have it. I remember.
You know what I mean? And she took people through the steps, and I speak to her, and she's like, "Dude, people think I'm a cloud chaser. Like, I actually had this thing, you know." So I think that happened because he mentioned the paying parts in his tweets, but it's real.
What did he say about getting paid? I didn't read it.
The tweet says something about fuck around. I might fuck around and get paid for taking you guys through the process of my recovery.
For real?
Yeah, something along those lines. I don't really Twitter, to tell you the real truth. But I actually know two celebrities that have had it and have recovered from it. And the one person was actually telling me that they're going to now tell people and take them through the process because they have recovered. You know, I obviously don't want to share their names and stuff just to protect their privacy. But yes, people have been getting it, but people have also been recovering, because I think for the most time we speak about people getting it, but we don't speak about the many recoveries. There is a lot of recoveries.
Yeah, there are recoveries. I know Lerato Za also posted on her Instagram saying that she had the virus as well, and she was posting from her bed about how painful it is. She was saying she was getting better when she had posted the video, but you can see the agony in her face, in the fact that she's struggling to even speak, just to show you how bad this thing is. And she was in pain. You can see it in the video. And it wasn't really a cloud thing. I think for her, she was just like, yo, like, you guys need to understand how serious this thing is. Don't think, hey, I can go to Spanban's house and just have one glass of wine. That's where you'll probably catch it. And that's where most of these people are getting it. It's because they're thinking that, no, I'll be fine if I go to one place or not. Just stay home. I think that's
no, but it's very tricky. You're very right. But at the same time, Noni, let's say I go to a braai, you go to a shop. It's the exact same thing. You know, John, I don't know if I make sense. That's the virus. It's not about, yes, we must stay at home, of course, to protect ourselves. That's why I've even been using like the Woolworths app to get my groceries, because you could go to the store and get it.
Yeah, but the difference in going to the store to get essential goods and going to a braai for recreation.
There's that, but also the difference as well for me is that going to a grocery store is that they've taken precautions for your safety. They've got masks, they've got those shields, they've got sanitizers. Every 5 minutes, they're sanitizing the area. Whereas if you go to somebody's house, people are carefree because they're like, I'm at home. I don't have to sanitize every 5 minutes. Do you understand? So there's also that level of security, which you won't have at somebody's house versus going to a shopping center. Do you understand?
And I guess you don't know where the people have been.
Exactly.
The people in the house.
But even the people in the grocery shop, guys, you don't know where they have been. But I'm trying to highlight the fact that...
Shit. He did say he's using his phone.
Yeah, we lost you there.
This load shedding is a problem, yo.
Yeah.
VG, you haven't said one single word, my brother. What's happening, boy?
You guys been yapping and yapping and yapping. Cosmo, by the way, Cosmo, I love your background, Cosmo. Thank you. You showed them that you're okay. You know.
Look who's talking. Where's your curtain, VG?
Let me tell you. I think sometimes I want to buy 1990 bani bafuna my lace.
Yeah.
You know, they I think they're not used to the Egyptian cloth, what material, you know.
He's coming with the real study.
Yes, you know, so I was just like,
the real study.
Now printer. I'll show them the printer.
Study, home study. Boy. I hate shooting from here because it makes me look like a Leswefe. Last time they said that one guy in the comments like, "Is Speedsta bleaching?" Because the sun is.
I also had to switch it up and come into my study because I was getting a lot of comments because of that clip that was circulating on Twitter. They're like, "How much you Miss Cosmo?" I used to
listen.
Like, oh, you guys
that clip got a lot of views.
You guys are hating. You guys are hating on my
on your bed.
So I was
your
like,
bed.
Okay, I have a study. It's more comfortable on my bed. Come on.
Listen, the last time I checked that clip, it was on 117,000 views. 117,000 people seeing your bed. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Fuck. I guess we'll speak about it later when Scoop comes. But it's crazy how like that specific clip trended like that. People, they choose to listen to what they want to do. I want to listen to.
What's irritating is that they based it on just that 1 minute. They don't even bother to watch the rest of the show to get context. That for me, I was just like, oh,
yeah.
come on.
Apparently, you and I really Popeye. We're just nodding our heads. So something I said to a friend of mine, I said, I don't know if you are aware that when you're shooting on Zoom, you need to nod or do something so that people know that you're still online.
Exactly.
So that's why I get about we don't come with facts. And Babang where they're like, yeah, you guys talk rubbish. So Lulu and guys, if you've used Zoom before, you would probably know when you're in situations, you give someone a time to talk, because if we all talk, the audio overlaps or whatever. If it's disagreement, it's probably a shaking your head. If you're seeing somebody's view, it's probably like nodding your head saying, cool, we hear you and we nodded. You know what I mean? Scoop, by the way, is still struggling. He's charging. There he is.
There he is.
So we'll start back again with him.
You back?
Yeah, I don't think we should log. I think we should keep this because we need to show we are really experiencing the load shedding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. We mustn't
cut this out.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna cut it out. They need to know.
That's a good idea.
You know. Yeah. So obviously going back to.
Wait. Let me finish off what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was saying that.
I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah, I was saying that because Speedsta was saying. He's right, you know, you don't know where anybody's been, but it's not just at a braai. You also don't know where anybody has been at the shop. The difference is going to the shop for essential goods is supersedes going to someone's house to go drink, where you're going to then relax and get reckless. That's what I was trying to really like hash out and pinpoint. So people mustn't think, but I go to the shop, I can just go out and go have fun. You know, people mustn't think that. You are allowed to go to the shop because you need your food, you need your toilet paper, you need your water or whatever you're going to go buy. But the sacrifice that we're asking you to make for health reasons is not go party, not go trying to live like nothing's changed, because things have changed.
So
especially in the hood, because in the hood, everybody's just living their lives, you know. I think it's really important.
But I don't think they care about the hood, you know, and I'll come back to that, you know. When you go to shops,
people.
Yes, we do, but I don't think they do. So when you go to shops,
they must care for themselves.
When you go to the shops, there are precaution measures. If you look down, from the moment you look down, it tells you, from the moment you walk into the shop, it tells you no mask, no entry, right? You have to sanitize. There's security. It's either they check your temperature or you write down your name, depending on whatever you're doing, right? And when you're about to pay, there are things indicating social distancing. Like you have to be 2 meters or 1.5 meters apart. If you sneeze, please sneeze with the dab. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you're correct. At a braai, I'm comfortable. I can come to your house, Scoop, you know? But I'm a sanitizing stations. Would they be there? You know? So if I've got it, I am sneezing, we're probably using the same lavatory, you know? And I probably sneeze, I probably do whatever there and I don't clean up. You know what I mean? There's fluids all over. So anyone else can contract them.
There's so many things that have come through, especially this past week, with regards to the virus and how us as a country are actually dealing with it. I saw a press release, or a statement rather, that Dr. Zweli had posted on the news. I'll actually send the clip so that we can watch it later, where he actually mentions it's getting so severe and the numbers are spiking so high in the rest of the country that it's gotten to a point where we might actually just have to let people catch the disease so that we can create herd immunity. And by herd immunity, it's obviously just the case of people just need to get it so that they can survive through it, basically.
Their bodies, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if we basically charge through it, we might be able to decrease how many people are actually dying from the disease. And you're right, not a lot of people are actually posted about the amount of recoveries. Their recoveries are almost half of the amount of people who've actually caught the disease.
It's like 43% roughly.
3% of the
before it was like 55%. Now it's dropping because more people are contracting the virus. You know,
it's winter. It's winter. Remember.
People are contracting the disease, but you must also remember they're contracting it, but also over and above that, because there's a higher amount of people getting it, the recoveries are going to be slower because there's still the people who got it way before the others who are still getting it. So the numbers are going to keep on changing until we move out of winter. But the one thing that still kind of caught me off guard, that really was just like, what is going on in South Africa, was the fact that they put out a tender to dig 1 million graves in Gauteng. But the amount of deaths worldwide.
Looting, not loot love, looting. That's all they're doing.
So Speedsta, that's where I come back and say, do they care about the hood, where they could have at least tried to give us more essentials? You understand? This thing for me, a mask should be like a condom, guys. A mask should be choice set right now. You understand? Sanitizers, it must be our choice. Your choice, CJ. Everywhere you go, it should be there available for people. They know how we are. Yeah.
Are you saying that when you used to use condoms, you were using Lovers Plus and Choice and not Durex?
Hey, Batu.
When you said it's a condom, I'm like, and his Spanish choice me, nah, personal.
That means Durex,
Featherlight, yeah. But
he's saying from a perspective of it being affordable to people who can't afford Durex, because it's Durex visa.
Rough Rider, no, nene.
Yeah, but nappies are more expensive, so
Rough Rider, ne.
Well, it choice is available at public toilets.
Yeah.
In a dispenser. So he's saying a mask must also be available in a dispenser.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Scoop off ramp. You off ramped when I scoop.
Scoop. It's like, no. It is output intersection. It is output intersection. That's
intersection.
And also, Vit is a father of 3, so. Anyway.
He don't shoot no blanks.
Gabeta.
And he smokes menthol.
So
yeah,
you know what they say.
Yeah, I forget those things. So I'm gonna come back to the Keenan point. Sorry to cut you. I actually met up with them. I think last week I mentioned that I saw him jogging, and I actually pulled up on a traffic light, driving Vela. Then I see Vela, the 7 Vela out there, you know. And we greeted. You know, the first thing when I greeted him, he said, "Yo, where's your mask?" That's the first thing he said to me. Like, Vigi, where is your mask? And I'm like, "Bro, it's here, Papa." Then it's like, "Okay, thank you." It's like, make sure that you have it, you know. So a part of me does believe that he did come out and he's putting it out there because he just wants to educate people more about the virus, and that he is of caring being. He is a father. He is human after all, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also tricky because I think a lot of people were also questioning. They were like, okay, but when did he get it? Because now the concern comes in with the AKA TV and the Price Show and the people who came over. Are those people okay? Do they have to go and test? But I guess it's one of those things where he'll communicate with the people that he's been in contact with and make sure that those people go out and get tested. But I think it's brave to actually put yourself out there to say that I've got it, because a lot of people are scared and they get too shy and they put their pride ahead of it to say, rather I deal with this in private as opposed to making it a public thing. But it's dope to raise awareness. People need to realize it's real.
Yeah. Definitely. No entanglements. Please stay at home.
Entanglements?
Entanglements.
and you know,
with August.
and Speedsta, I'm glad, you know, you mentioned I was actually speaking to one of the rappers as well, you know, and he's currently going through it. It is not my place to mention his name, but I think once he's probably been through the process, he will publicly come out. But there's one guy of in our crowd, in our space, you know, that also told me that, like, yo, dude, I'm dealing with it right now, but I'm alone, you know, just trying to get over it, you know, and as soon as I recover, I will actually post and share my experiences.
Yeah.
Oh. On another topic?
Yes. On the next topic that we have, I did want to shed some light on the South African Music Awards are back. We are not doing them on one night. It's actually going to be broadcast over 4 nights. And for the first time, it's not happening on SABC. It's actually going to be broadcast on Channel O and Mzansi, which is the first African Music Awards. And I think they're going to be broadcast digitally, if I'm not mistaken. So I think the performances are going to be pre-recorded so that they can basically broadcast them on the channels. And some of the nominations have been out for Best Music Video. There's a whole list for both Best Music Video as well as Record of the Year. What are your thoughts, gentlemen?
I love the fact that they still are going to go on, whether I feel a certain way about them and how right they are with the winnings. I don't think that matters. I think it's very dope that they decided to have them, even with everything going on in the world. I think that. Secondly, I love the fact that they are moving from SABC to paying channels. I know that we do have SABC people here, and I respect you guys, but I have not minced my words how I feel about the broadcasting corporation that is them. And I think that it's high time, just like they lost football, for them to lose entities to partners that are willing to give a product that is pristine and deserves to be handled with care and love and appreciation. So I'm glad that that's going to happen. I do know that, Channel O, having experience with the Channel O Africa Awards, and then obviously Mzansi with having the what is it, the Viewers' Choice?
Yeah, Viewers' Choice Awards.
So we're definitely going to see a level of production that is gonna go up again, hopefully. So I'm digging that, and I also wanted to congratulate KO, who on his Instagram listed all the awards that he's nominated for. I haven't seen who else from the rap fraternity is nominated, but I did see that Super Duper has really done well for him.
Music video, yeah. Shout out to the Islanders. I think firstly, the summers have to happen. They have to happen because there was a whole year of good music. Because if you look at that list of the record of the year, it's hot there. It's really, really. And you look at the songs and you think back to memories when you could party and things. And you look at all those songs, and all those songs are highlighted. For me personally, even as a hip hop guy, "Ama Uba" was the one song where I felt
crazy. Like Uba was crazy.
Like into my sepa, like in that's what I think about.
They gotta win big.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of big songs as well who are also nominated for Record of the Year. For instance, I know even Zinhle was nominated as well for Mlilo, because she
of course.
So Mlilo was also really good. Mapiano just generally last year came through with the fire, so I think it's dope. Somebody who did speak out and said that with all the views and the amount of traction that her song made on digital platforms, which is Makhathini, she's from Limpopo. She mentioned that she didn't get any nominations for her big song, Matorokisi. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but that song did 4.7 million views on YouTube, right? That's over 5 million. And for me, I was just a little left with a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. The song
did she submit?
She did. She said she did submit. Okay. I saw her tweet. She did submit. And they're saying they value the contribution of South African musicians and they acknowledge the concerns. So they're saying for nominations, the nomination process for Record of the Year is not an entered for category. So they choose who is nominated for Record of the Year. And then they said they get their data from Radio Monitor. And then from there, they also then give the information to RISA auditors, and then they then choose who the winner is. So I have a bit of an issue with that. Not necessarily because, obviously I'm on radio, so I don't really care about that. But for me, I'm thinking in 2020, how is it that we're only relying on one source or platform to identify a huge song in such a broad scape, where digital has literally been one of those platforms that we need to take seriously for our music to kind of trend. 4.7 million views is not something to sit back on and be like,
they need to move forward. But I think now, especially with everything happening, they are definitely thinking about it. It's probably been conversations that have been had for years, but now they're actually like, let's maybe revisit that conversation. I mentioned it last year with the South African Hip Hop Awards, where I said in the next one they must have a category for podcasts, because that's where things are going. You understand?
I got you. Noni, just to get back to your point, I think you weren't really clear about what, I know what you wanted to say because you spoke offline about it, but be clear and concise about what you want to say and what the gripe is.
Oh, I thought I was clear. Was I not? Okay.
No, I think Vich is also agreeing with me.
You came with the serious face.
Well, I'm semi. You know,
because Noni, this is what you were saying offline. You said a lot of things there. I can get the gist of it, but when you were very clear offline, so I would like you to just be that clear again.
Okay, well, I thought I had mentioned that, but nonetheless, what I said was that South African Music Awards are using Radio Monitor as the only platform for them to check who can be nominated for certain awards. And I feel that radio can't be the only platform that you're checking.
Just say it's bullshit. Just say it, Noni.
But I just said, I don't think it should be the only platform. I don't have to swear to say that.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
no, I like that.
I do think that they need to consider digital streaming. They need to consider digital platforms for how big a song has been, especially for Record of the Year, because you can't only look at what radio is doing. And also, the other tricky thing about only relying on radio is that we all know that as an independent artist, it's very difficult to get your music out there onto radio because of whatever other issues that come into play with getting your song.
Don't say issues. Say the word, Noni.
I will not.
No, I'm actually gonna edit that bullshit out. It's not necessary.
You say things. Please use your own words. Can I finish what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh, you want to say
My
something?
bullshit's getting edited out, please.
Don't be afraid. You must just say it. Okay, cool. I'll say it.
Go, Vigi, go, Vigi, go.
I am of support of independent artists here, and I'm saying we all know that labels have a bigger piece of the pie when it comes to radio airplay. Independent artists don't have radio airplay, but they have digital streaming, and that should be considered, especially when it comes to the summers. You can't ignore big songs that have done big things on digital streams. That's what I'm saying.
Cool. I think it was a whole lot clearer the second time.
Okay,
that's fact.
Can I intersect?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
thank you. Cool.
Go, VG.
So I'm gonna go back to the SABC point you brought up, Scoop. Right? When I started first working for Viacom, right? I think 2011. There was this whole rumor that the SABC by then was supposed to convert from analog to digital. Till this day, it hasn't happened. You understand? So for me, those are the steps that it goes about that from where maybe the summer committee is looking at it saying we probably need to move with the times, and they are moving with it, saying digitally this is what we want to do so we can have more of a reach. Yes, analog is still a wider reach, but it shows that our government, as the SABC part, hasn't played the part. So I'm asking to where the money went or what company or whatever happened. As you guys would say, good, it's looting, corruption, there it is, right? Cool. Second point, Noni, you are correct in terms of Radio Monitor, but Radio Monitor is not only socially radio; it does pick up TV as well. You know, so it does pick up TV airplay from your music channels. Do you understand? As long as you have registered, that's what I always suggest and tell guys that guys know your data, know what's happening with the song, right? Know where it's been played, know what time it's been played, and if you are playlisted, ask yourself, if I'm playlisted, how many plays am I getting a day or a week? So you can be able to go back and check. But hey, guys, if you said I'm playlisted as an A-list playlist, right? Number A, whatever. Then that means you said I'm getting 15 plays a week. But your stats show me that I'm only getting played 3 times a week. Please, can you correct it? You've got data to show them that, hey, guys, here it is. I am not seeing it. So please improve on A, B, and C.
It's like a conversation we had offline, VG. I'll make an example. I'll use KO as an example, actually, because we spoke about Super Duper, right? KO is one of the most played artists on the radio at the moment, but not necessarily on the streaming side of things.
Cool.
Now, when something like this, like the summer is coming to play, unfortunately, it's not how much you're popping on the internet.
Cool. And also, I'll go by some DSPs, digital service providers, right? If you're looking at views, if you're saying digital, we cannot look at YouTube only for views. We have to, in fact, everyone from your Pandora, so as a collective, do you understand? I think you have to have everyone, because now that will show a bigger reach to say, well, it's Spotify. Spotify does actually tell you how much spins or how much plays, etc. Right? You get. I know Apple
every month.
Even
Apple. if you have Spotify for artists or Apple for artists, every month they'll let you know how many plays you have that month,
but
regions.
That's for an artist, but from publicly, you understand? Because obviously,
I got you.
With Radio Monitor, you can see some things. You understand? Because it's open to everyone. But
and you can hear it when you switch on the radio.
Yeah, but
what are you hearing?
But on Apple, I cannot see what you are doing, right? But on Spotify, you can see. If you check on Spotify, it does click on plays. Like right now, let's look at Focalistic. Focalistic song, what's the main singer right now? That big song. Star. It's probably, maybe it's over 250,000 views.
Focalistic is on
Spotify. On Spotify. Shout out. You know what I mean? So you can imagine what it's doing on.
How many times the song has been Shazammed?
Yeah, thank you. Shazam is another one. Do you understand? So maybe it is time. I think it's time that, and I think maybe the summers are probably working towards that, because now it became an era where they did those downloads, most download songs. You understand? Where they look at the caller tunes. So they probably are working on.
DJ Cleo was cleaning it up.
You know?
Don't turn that Facebook.
But now this goes back.
Also remember with the caller tune one. Remember, they also included that category because at the time it was the MTN Summer Award, so they had to include it because it was a sponsor.
Yes.
Big point.
There is the question.
So now,
but still, Facebook was a big song that year.
Okay, Speedy. Okay, but
it was huge. You remember that song?
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
Don't tell them Facebook.
All right, Speedy. VG, please finish the point.
Sorry, man. So for me, I think they are probably working on a process where they're working with everyone to say, guys, show us your data. This is probably something that we could work on. It takes an industry. So how people usually work, right? Within companies. So if we are the members of podcast, whatever, in the committee, we raise our point to say, hey guys, every 30 seconds counts for a stream. Because everyone has bought through the data, everyone has bought through everything that they want to subject it to being notified to counting as something. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Maybe now the summers, what they will do, then they will probably go to the independent record labels and the record labels and the major record labels to say, cool guys, please do submit your numbers forward. They do get the numbers, obviously, but maybe more people need to submit so people can see, and you get auditors that can see, okay, when you are getting X here, you're getting X here. Okay, cool, perfect. And this is how it's working.
Speaking of which, Easy, can you then elaborate on the difference between streaming and downloading, since we are talking about streams?
Cool. So, Scoop, what do you use to play your music?
I use iTunes.
iTunes, not Apple Music?
Not Apple Music, iTunes. I don't know if it's the same thing. I'm not technologically inclined.
One you buy, one you can stream.
That's it.
I use iTunes.
Okay. So you buy. So that means you are buying a song for R7 or $9.99.
$9.99, yeah.
And you know why that is?
Yeah.
Because Vele, if you look behind me, I'm a guy that used to buy.
I would trust
I'm not
you.
the new kids.
Yeah.
I'm the buyer. I'm not the burner. I'm the buyer. I'm the other B.
Okay, the buyer. What do you do?
I do a lot of streaming these days. Obviously, it's just much easier. I used to be a buyer, but I'm moving with the times, especially because of me being a DJ. I stream a lot of music first, and then if I really buy into it, if my soul connects to it, then I purchase it so that I can have the song to then DJ later.
Yeah.
So
I stream all the time and then buy from DJ pools that I pay for every month to get DJ extendeds for whichever song I like. But for me to hear the song, I stream it first.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So streaming and downloading, right? So I think Google's as a Google Play, Google Store. Sorry, Google Store. I think it's still there. Google Play. Yeah. So you can still download. iTunes is a store where you can still purchase downloads. Like a downloader, you have the file, it's saved onto your hard drive, etc. What happens with streaming is that obviously it's on a server that you can also still pre-download it on your phone. But the difference is that you can't really take it from one device and go burn it, right? So that's why. So right now, if you look at modern cars, this is new. Right now, if you buy a car, it's rare that you get a CD player. It's rare that even your MacBook.
My car doesn't have a CD player.
Your MacBook, Your MacBook? Does your MacBook have a CD-ROM?
No.
Well,
No.
my MacBook's old, so
I
yes.
have
Old ones do, but the new ones don't.
They don't. You
Yeah.
understand? So
I think it's the Retina. Retina, yeah.
Yeah, so it's moved with the times to say that streaming is the new thing because now there are subscription fees. So for me, I've got a family, right? It's me and my wife, and I've got my sons, but they've got one account. You know what I mean? I pay for the whole family package. Even Spotify has one, but they even have one for partners. So Miss Cosmo, you and your partner can have something like that as well.
Hey.
Hey, so
just to get back to the seriousness of the topic and just the information.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is with downloads,
yeah,
you can move your download to another thing. Like you can, but with streaming, it stays on the server.
Yeah,
you can't share it.
Yeah, you can't share. So this is where now that maybe streaming will unlock the less piracy. That's just my thought.
I got you.
Because now I'm of the belief that one person can purchase the album and share it.
One person can download the album, not purchase. Download it, or downloading is purchasing.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So you're saying that one person can download, purchase this album, and then go to share it with a lot of people.
Sure.
And because you can't do that with streaming, it's actually more viable for the industry and the musician.
Yeah, because you just share your playlist. You don't necessarily share a CD that you've burnt, like you said.
Yeah, I think that's a major point. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So for me, that's why I think we should always encourage, and that's why I always encourage artists, stream, share playlists, be a curator. You understand? That's the we're living in those areas where you literally can bring in and engage with, just by us starting a podcast playlist. We can literally have a following of.
We should do that.
1,000 people.
We should totally do that.
Yeah, 1,000 people next week. And the good thing is that the music is legit. We are not making money out of it. What we are doing, we're providing a service by curating, and people can stream.
And pushing the artists.
That's it.
Yep.
And royalties in your pockets, man. That's what it counts.
You shouldn't have said that out loud because, motherfuckers gonna be out there jacking the sauce.
Okay, Askies. My bad, but it's education. Right? So we gave them homework, and I'm glad you guys did know, obviously. But yeah.
But that was VG's homework. We didn't do it last.
Well done, VG.
But back to the topic at hand about the summers and them including the digital platforms, I do think it's still important because, like I mentioned, Makhathini is somebody who did big numbers, but obviously wasn't considered for any nominations. And like you're saying, we need to collate all information for it to then be the South African Music Awards, not necessarily just looking at one platform. That is my only gripe. And if they are moving towards then including digital, then shout outs to them, but they need to move a little bit faster. We're in 2020.
But that's the thing.
Go on, Vij.
Sorry, we also need more platforms. And the fortunate part is we should be grateful that Radio Monitor is a service that actually tracks every song that's been played. And the summer did actually put out a statement that it's from a particular period, and I will share the thing with DJ so you can put it up, right? To a particular period. So if I released a song that is probably big as hell right now, right? But I released it last year, let's say October, I couldn't have probably accumulated so many spins. So people tend to forget that from February, there have been songs that have been played until February this year. Those spins actually count towards something. So you cannot just disclose them because your song is old. Tina, we want the new now. You understand? It's what the guys have been working with. You know what I mean? It's the guys have been following up. The guys have been servicing their radios. The guys have been pushing interviews. The guys have been doing etc. But let's not give it too much things. So, as you say, we're giving them too much.
Hey, shout out to Slick, man. Slick is the only South African DJ that has a summer. That is a really big deal. I don't think people really know that.
Definitely.
For which song?
Do Like I Do a remix. Do Like I Do remix.
A video. Do Like I Do remix, né? Best remix.
Yeah, best
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great because we did also shout him out last week for his amazing work, And back to Cosmo, I want to reiterate and I want to stand by you on your point of saying that you have a bad taste in your mouth because of this SAMA's only using a specific platform. to adjudicate who deserves to win. I think you're spot on. And I just wanted to have it clarified for maybe people who might think that we said a lot of things in those sentences and we weren't hitting the nail on the head. So I just wanted to agree with you and say, damn, I also didn't know that. I didn't know that the SAMAs don't use the digital footprint to just solve what's happening, and they only check out IRAM. And as much as VG said that, yes, they do check out television, it's not okay that they don't include everything else, So I'm with you on that one, cause
and it goes to so many things. I mean, sorry, you can carry on, Beach. I'll be quick. I was gonna say it goes to so many things beyond music. It's like the fashion week that all these people go to, the nice one where they're not looking. They watching the GQ for what's trendy, what's fashion. They're not in the streets.
Cool.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think and with the SAMAs, they did raise the point, Guti. It's for particular awards, nominations. For the record of the year, I think record of the year, they use Radio Monitor because, yes, radio is still, and TV are still the linear, it's the medium that we have that they actually can give us proof of it. Do you understand? So it's not saying that all the SAMAs are not based on that. No. But about Sampra, about Risa, everyone, they do get statements of something that's been happening on the digital thing as well. But maybe, as we're saying, maybe with time, they will evolve to doing it more. Because digital is now. It changes every day. It could have changed from particular points to now. It's just the reporting. Maybe, yes, they should invest in that. But for the record of the year, I do think, Kuti, the radio, the main medium of what we know record of the year is, because many people probably listen to Ukhozi FM for record of the year. You understand? So it's a radio, it is a TV. Everyone does their own record of the year, TV, etc. And that's how it goes around. So I'm with the thing, Ukhozi. I do support where they stand, and yes, they should have one for digital, definitely. That moving on
definitely.
Forward. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I guess we're all in agreement at the end of the day. I just think, like you're saying, they do look at radio, and yes, it is data that they can rely on from RISA, but we can also rely on that data coming from the Apple South Africa office, that's coming from the Spotify South Africa office, that's coming from Shazam and the YouTube South Africa office. That's information.
Because you can just, it's another avenue of getting money and making there be sponsors. You can have the SAMAs, then you can have the digital SAMAs. It's just a title.
That's true. Yeah. But can I tell you something that's going to happen? I think a lot of people would not want to disclose the digital numbers. That's just me. Because
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But what matters is it has to be done.
Yes, but what I'm saying, I know that it has to be done, but I'm saying that a lot of people who say, Mina, I'm moving XX, A, B, and C.
Okay, I don't want to turn it into attacking people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not attacking people, Scoop. I'm not attacking people. I'm just opening the mindset, open the back of the mind, just to know what. Actually, that could be true. Someone could say, man, I've done 2 million streams, but you're not privy to it. But when the data actually comes in, but Chief, you've only done 2,000 streams, what are you going to say?
Where's your plaque 2 million streams? Let's just start there.
I think with those things of numbers, I think it has been said, and everybody kind of knows what's happening behind the scenes with labels that invest in radio play for artists or digital imprints. I think everybody kind of knows that nothing is as transparent as it should be. Am I the only one who knows this or thinks this?
What do you think? What do you say about transparent?
Like you're saying that not everyone is going to want to reveal their numbers.
Okay.
In terms of transparency and people putting out the information about the performances of their albums, it is not a new thing. It's been around for a long time that people are, or the numbers game in South Africa is not as true as it's said.
That's true.
So that's why I didn't want us to go back to saying, no, people might not want to release their numbers. We know how people feel about their numbers. So I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on what the bigger parties have to do, be it the SAMAs or the RISAs. Like they need, the Grammys also have it, where one day you have the digital awards, then the next day is the broadcast big event. So I was just, I'm trying to have us say that Lendo Yoguti, yes, they must just obey RAM, but also nothing is stopping them from having a digital SAMA.
Cool, perfect.
That's what I want people and I want them to leave with. Now, when we come back and go, yeah, people might not want to release their numbers, we kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
But we're not, because we already touched upon it that we do need the digital summers and whatever. What I was articulating is this, Guti, would people be actually open enough? Because a lot of the times I see it, I'm like, yo, but by looking at those numbers, you are not doing as quite well as your brand is. That's
but I don't
but that's a topic for another day. Yeah.
I think you know exactly the answer to that. I don't think people want that. Okay. Because if they did, it would have happened a long time ago, dog.
That's true.
And it hasn't. So you know the answer to that.
Okay.
All right, moving on, gentlemen. Scoop, you wanted to talk about a kid from Cape Town, Pretty Prince, who kind of caught your eye.
Yeah, no, I was on the SA Clout page. It just hit me. This young kid who was wearing a hoodie, just rapping. And I thought, damn, where's this kid from? You know, I'm seeing SA Clout. Then I went to go check. And I'm like, yo, this kid is from South A. I immediately followed him. And I went to go check his page. And I saw young...
Shit.
I saw him wearing a white on his profile, him standing with Youngster.
Yes, I saw that picture as well. And
for me, that's beautiful. Because finding Youngster with his 2 awards, his critical acclaim in the industry, his prowess with the raps, and him already being that close to an up-and-coming artist is something that I feel like should happen more of in this game. And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for whatever reason. But I was happy to see that. And I'm like, fuck, this kid, I'm like, fuck, this is Oshisa Lendwana. And I love the fact that he's already got an elderly statesman who's coaching him.
Yeah. I was on his page for like an hour because they tagged me in one of his freestyles and I was like, shit, he is nice. Really, really nice. Tiny little dude.
He's nice.
Why I did like an IG live takeover thing with Sneaker Exchange. So they were doing that a little bit earlier on in the lockdown. And in my takeover with Sneaker Exchange, they actually asked me to interview Pretty Prince, and he did like a little bit of a performance freestyle situation on that. And I was also blown away. I followed him immediately as well, and I was like, yo,
you know,
he was coming through with so much attitude, so much vigor in his raps, and I dig that. And he's young. I think he's like 13, 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Zaid and Kubi, Sneaker Exchange, and Tebogo, they really, really on the ball with the youth. Another guy they trying to push is that Rita kid. I don't know if you've seen that Rita kid from Soweto. I'm a piano kid. Also sensational. He's coming. Super young.
I haven't seen the Rita kid. Damn, I forgot what I was about to say now.
We're talking about the young kids, Prince. The young kids coming up.
Yeah, and that's a thing that's gonna happen, right? Like if you look at America, it starts off with guys blowing up in their 30s. Then it goes down to guys blowing up in their 20s. Then it went down to Chris Brown and Lil Bow Wow.
Oh wow!
Exactly.
Lil Bow Wow.
and for us here in South Africa, because even though hip hop has had a long time here, we are in our first stage of reaping the rewards. Because we are in our first stages of reaping the financial rewards of this rap game. As much as we've been around for a long time, it's the first time we really blown out the gate and getting multi-million rand stuff. The artists that were blowing up were in their 20s. Then Nasty came and he was 18. And I've been saying that because that the next kid that's gonna keep getting younger. So I'm just glad to live in a time where I'm seeing a 14, 15-year-old who's already this
Msawawa.
Msawawa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does look like Msawawa also.
You know what I mean?
Msawawa actually looks
it's
different as an adult.
It's crazy.
He's proper like
what
suit and tie.
I'm appreciating about some of the young guys in the game right now is that they're also kind of expanding themselves to thinking further than just their music. Like you're mentioning, it's dope to kind of see them on the come up with their music at a young age, but they're also thinking broader. They're not thinking just the music. I mean, from a perspective like we spoke about last week, where the merch is also becoming like a huge income stream for young artists. I mean, right now I'm also wearing a sweater, Godspeed, which is an artist from Pretoria. His name is Ify Boomin. He is an upcoming like trap artist, but on top of making the music, he's also like, okay, I've also got a merch line that you guys can also check out. Because these kids are also thinking further. They're not just saying, I must only just pop with the music. What else can I bring to the forefront? Whether it be sneakers, whether it be, like I said, merch, or maybe, I don't know, they've got, I don't know.
Even other business interests. I mean, in a time like now where there is no performances as we speak of every week. There's no DJ sets. There's none of that. What else are you doing? Like, what else are you doing to live? Because it's all good and well to be an artist and to want to be a superstar, but you're also a human being. So it doesn't help if you're pushing one thing where you're trying to be a superstar, but you don't have a place to stay. So what else are you doing outside of your music that's going to sustain you? And what that also does is it allows you to live your passion. You know, I always say I don't DJ for money. I DJ because I love DJing. That shouldn't be my main income. That shouldn't be what I do for me to make money, you know?
100%. And I think the artist, for me, in the rap world that has personified that has been Ricky. He's the one rapper who has diversified his business. Yes, he makes money. Yes, he did gigs. But buying a stake in Legends Barber right now, I don't know what every other rapper does with his money. I'm not going to say he's the only one. Of whom I know, he's the only one that's actually got a steady flow of income while COVID is happening.
Yeah. How's DJs been doing it for long?
Yes, I know DJs, you know. I was just speaking of the hip hop niggas because they have been getting a lot of money. You know what I mean? And he said it in his raps, like, you buy a chain, I buy a business.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in the thinking that I wanted to highlight, you know, because
Prince KB, when you're done. Sorry.
Yeah, I know that DJs have done it, Speedsta, but I'm specifically speaking to the hip hop community.
Yes, but what I'm trying to highlight is that why aren't they looking at those people? Why aren't they learning from those people? And I was going to make an example like Prince KB. A lot of people think he's cocky and he's whatever on the socials, but he's like that because he can be himself. Whether you guys like him or not, it's not going to change his life because his passion made him money to sustain his whole life. If it's like, I'll use an example like a Fista's Mixwell. He's been in the game for so many years because he's fine. His lifestyle, he's fine. He DJs for a passion. So you can't kill somebody like that. That's the other secret to staying in the industry.
I tell you, again, this is my opinion and my thought of why it doesn't happen more often. Because one, niggas in rap don't read. They do not don't laugh like that, Nonique, because you make it into sound like a shady thing, and I'm being very serious. You know, I think niggas in rap don't read. They don't acquire different sources of information. Secondly, I think niggas in rap don't talk, and this is my opinion again, they don't conversate with people in other forms of business. This is what I think.
So, Aries,
they're gonna put you on the thing again.
300,000
views this week.
I don't care about that, but I'm speaking. What you could reply on, or what you could speak about, is whether you think what I'm saying is on point, or you have something else to say about it. Because we're gonna get views regardless. That's not where I'm going. But
that's facts.
Our job here is to hash out ideas and opinions. So let's do that. Instead of us smiling and laughing and doing all these things, let's get serious about these opinions.
Here's an idea. Can you imagine if Reese did his rolling papers?
Sorry, what's that?
Sorry, I just came to my mind. Can you imagine if
Reese did rolling papers? MT.
The Reese effect.
Enterprising, I
like
hear you.
Reese effect. Sorry. I think there are guys. Some people do not probably disclose their business side of things. But there are rappers who I know who own taxis. You know what I mean? Goodbye, as good. Panama Taxi is the business that they know or they probably grew up with at home. And it's probably bring that stable income. But obviously right now with COVID as well, it probably did shake up a few things. But there is like a lack of Sugar Specs or JR. I know Jay has got the Feel Good and he's got an agency. You understand? Jay's been doing ads, those type of things. So, and Slicker as well, with the way he's moving with Slicker on life,
But that's those people you're mentioning.
Let me finish, Scoop.
Sorry, brother. Sorry.
Yeah. So you've got those people, as you mentioned. You've got the Ricky who's investing in the legends. You know what I mean? I do think Ukwesta also has something that he's probably doing, but some guys probably don't want to disclose of it. But there are guys who are doing things the way they should be moving. And yes, you're correct. We should be growing the game to a level whereby, guys, let's invest, let's help each other, let's move around. You guys are correct.
Yeah. I mean, you could even take it as far back as the Kwaita era. You look at a TKZ who got slept.
Kwaita.
Yeah.
Kwaita.
Kwaito.
Oh, okay.
You can even take it back like a TKZ who got like heavy like tax shit they had to deal with back in the day. But you look at a Booger Love who recently opened a business last year with the fitness and everything that he's doing. He's still able to sustain himself. He's still able to put money in the right places to let him to keep him going. You understand?
Yeah, I fully agree with that, and I know about.
You're breaking the scope.
To the niggas that are actively involved right now, who are making crazy amounts of money right now. A lot of people might now think of businesses because COVID has hit. But I wanted to reiterate and point out the fact that we have been making good money in this game. And a disaster or a pandemic should not have been the thing that woke niggas up, because the money was so good for so long that niggas could have really
niggas made money. Niggas make cash, dog.
Yeah, making
made a lot of cash.
Money. You know what I mean? So that's what I was trying to say. And the thing is, because these guys are our leaders, whether we like to admit it or not. So when the leader does that, it's easy for the young kids to go, because the kids also didn't get the merch thing by themselves. They saw the older guys doing the merch. So it's like you, as older people in the game, you do have that responsibility, whether you like it or not, to set an example of what to do, whether from music to behavior to entrepreneurship. That's what being a leader is. Heavy is the crown, but that's just the case.
Speedy, you are close friends with Frank. Didn't Frank have some alcohol distribution or whatever, or delivery service?
His friend friend Lynn had a online app alcohol thing way before COVID. So he used to live with his friend and he helped him get the business off the road. I don't know what exactly his involvement is as of today.
Yeah, I do think that you guys have raised valid points. But I will also come back to a side thing of, yes, maybe the guys are not financially educated enough to probably move certain things like that. Also, is that we have the families to look after. Maybe some guys are saying, then putting this money, I'm gonna invest in my little sister and take her to school and put her to tertiary, because I know that it's gonna come back to my family. And yes, maybe this is the idea that she can open up a business and she will put me on, because hey, Putum Dala, you actually took me through school. You understand?
Yeah.
Education. So that for me is also something that I know of rappers who do that, who take their sisters to school, who take them to school, you know. So that should be an investment that we should acknowledge, because it is giving back to the community and to our families, that I'm putting you to the school over, you will give back and you will grow others. And this is as well.
I love I think Scoop said about the guys have to lead, because if you look at the conversation, every single hip hop artist we've spoken about is a OG. You know, they've been here for long. I mean, you could even use like a proverb, for example. So it's
and I said they have to leave.
Pardon?
Did I say they have to leave, or you say when I said they have to take a break?
Lead.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
lead. So I think it's very, very important for our generation, a Ricky, a Nasty, a Reese, a Frank, a whomever is relevant and popping and the new school. They need to lead by example. You know, I remember Homoto, Green Robot Design. I'll never forget 2013. He used to do like all the flyers and stuff. He did like logos for a whole bunch of people. And 2013, I was kind of like coming up. And he said one thing to me. He said, Speedsta, do me a favor. I don't care what you're doing. It's a Mabula Spaza shop. I don't care if you can't open a spa or a Pick and Pay right now. Go open a Spaza shop, because you're getting a bit of money. Do me one favor. Split that money. Go open a Spaza shop. Go like figure it out. You know. So it's very, very important to actually, it's a secret. The secret is, if you're getting 5 rand, 2 rand, put 2 rand away. Yes, not for saving. I'm not talking about savings. You must save 1 rand. You must only, if you're getting 5 rand, you must take 2 rand. 1 rand you must save. The other 2 rand must go into something else.
Straight up.
Noni, you come from a financial background and you've been quiet, and I think I could learn. No, it's the truth. You know what I mean. You could probably tell us the pros and cons.
Noni, you and your big house,
because we can
lots of money.
We can talk. It's easy to talk as well. Yeah, but maybe you can also shed some light.
Bryanston High, Noni.
Look, I've been listening to you guys. I think that's the important thing for me was the fact that I like that you guys are coming through with the information, because I don't always want to be because I come from corporate, then I need to be listened to. I dig the fact that you guys are also thinking further. You guys have been in entertainment your whole lives. You didn't have the experience that I had. And I appreciate the fact that people are thinking further. That's why I mentioned the fact that the younger artists aren't only thinking about the music, they're also thinking about, where else can I get this money? How else can I get my brand out there? If my music's not going to sit on radio, I need to make sure my brand is out there some other type of way. And again, unfortunately, I do see the DJs who are leading the charge with regards to thinking outside the box, because they have been doing it much longer than maybe, say, the artists. And I think with hip hop, maybe the problem also comes in the fact that it's always been about, oh, I need to look cool, or it's all about the swag. I mean, among the 5 rand, little 2 rand is not going to a spaza, but it's going to go to maybe this chain I need to buy, or I need to buy a new pair of sneakers because the drip is more important to me than what I'm going to eat tonight. Exactly. And the thinking needs to change. And it's all about how you're going to sustain yourself. So I always look, for me, my goal is always to look at someone like Zinhle, where Zinhle was able to start up her watch brand, which was able to sustain her while she was pregnant with Cairo. Obviously, she couldn't DJ during that time, but it sustained her enough for her to still make money, still remain relevant while she was taking a break from DJing. Right now, she's got one of the biggest songs in the country, Umlilo. And for her, and she tweeted this the other day, she's nominated for Record of the Year for the Summers, but for her, the award isn't that important to her. She's making the music, but she's still maintaining that at the end of the day, she can live without the award. The music is out there, but she's making sure her business is on track. She's created a legacy for Cairo, because now there's a small watch that is in Cairo's name. She's also created the masks now, which she's got one for adults. There's also the one for the kids. She's thinking further for herself, and she's investing in her child. She's now influenced people around her. Someone like Muesli looked at Zinhle, she's like, okay, how else can I enterprise? And she started her shoe range that she did now, which is with YDE, which is, again, like you're saying, is the influence by surrounding yourself with the right people. Pearl Tusi,
with the hair.
With the hair products, because she's also now surrounding herself with the right people. And I think that's the importance of making sure that you have influences around you to think further. It doesn't always have to be, oh, I've got R2, I must go invest in a construction company. You don't have to go off the rails. You can still invest it back in your brand, but you're making money off of your brand.
Yeah,
straight up.
And also, but the other secret is also to never rush it. A successful business is never rushed. It's not an idea that comes overnight. So if you know, like, shit, I'm stuck. I mean, it's happened to me where I'm like, I know I want to invest in a business, but I don't know what business. It doesn't mean I'm just going to any business. Keep that money, have that account where you know this is for whatever business I can finally come up with, I can fund it.
Yeah, so, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you, and I just like that we've hashed that out properly, you know. And just like for me, I definitely want to encourage guys to maybe not be the smartest guy in the room the whole time. You know, you might not have to read 1,000 books on finances or whatever, but diversify. You always hear this in banking or financial institutions when they say diversify your portfolio. Like, and this, I'm not just talking obviously to the old niggas. Some of the information here is talking about the old guys because they are the only example we know. But some of the information here is going to the young guys. Like, you in your 10 group of friends, if 9 of them are in the hip hop industry,
tricky.
Diversify your portfolio of friends.
You guys are sitting and smoking weed and playing PlayStation and recording the whole day. It's tricky. It's very tricky,
you know, whereas you've got a guy who's an accountant. You've got a guy who's just learn different things. And I'm saying that because I myself, it's happened to me when I chill with Laduma, Makhosa, when I chill with Nelson Makamo, when I chill with Black Coffee, my nigga, my boundaries get pushed out. And I sit there and I'm like, fuck, I always wonder with the superstars in hip hop, does this happen at all with any? They don't have to sit with superstars, but I know Casper does sit with a billionaire that he says is his mentor, you know, and I'm very, very happy about that because that man is very old and Casper can now see and hear how things are done outside of the music area, and he can come with that information into it. So yeah, that's a big thing for me. It's
that's
like,
why I've always kept my friends. My friends are my friends. Some happen to be DJs, some happen to be artists, but my group of friends is everyone does a whole bunch of different things. You know, it's that's why I don't believe in trap houses where 16 fucking niggas live in one of the trap house. You can't even bring a chick there because the fucking oak is on the couch. You know, like I don't believe in that. It's not a lifestyle that I think is one to sustain and want to move forward with, because you want to have kids, you want to get married, you want to build things for your life.
Yeah.
So I think last week we did say that music is the foundation. You know, I think this always comes back with the music lays the foundation. Then from there, it's how you expand. You know, and do it. And I like that you mentioned Mosley, Noni, and I'm sure. I think sometimes some people probably don't want to disclose and see what they're doing, but I think Mosley, I can see how she's supporting her sister, and I'm sure she's probably even invested in her sister with the food business. And I know that you've been purchasing food when I know it from there, you know. But it's nice to see people branching out and doing those little things to say, cool, we're supporting each other one way or another. Unfortunately for me, my friends are in the music industry, a lot of them, you know, do you understand? And
you say you don't have friends last week, Wabon.
No, my man. The people who are called friends, my friends, are in the music industry. They're in not.
Am I your friend? I hope so. You call me all the time.
You guys
I'd
are
like
my
to
friends.
think.
I told you I love you guys.
Love you too, VG.
So for me, I've learned, you know, and I did come back and say that, yo, this music thing, it's something that I want to live forward to saying post-COVID. What am I going to do? I'm learning myself right now. You understand? Yeah. And I don't think I'm stupid to say, yo, you only invested into doing A, B, and C. You didn't look up business and expanding whatever. But I am learning. And for me as a human being, I'm going to grow with it and I'm going to do better. You understand? Because this life thing is still a long way to come. And I will do 10 times better because I will say, cool, I've learned about it, I've read, let me do my research, and this is what happened. And I want to build a legacy for my kids and my wife.
I definitely want to shout out to Zinhle. As you mentioned, Noni, I think she's an amazing businesswoman. I think she's really resourceful and really dope. And I just want to highlight her again and saying that shout outs to her, man.
See you guys next week. Please make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and join us in the live chat. We'll be back again next week, Tuesday.
School, please join us.
No entanglements.
Yeah, don't get entangled with the wrong people, please.
I'm not going to get entangled out there in the live stream comments.
Sharp, guys.
Peace, guys.
Rock Nation, AC Milan. Okay, anyway, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Chico Twala statement.
Bye-bye.
Mary Twala, RIP. Damn.
Next week.
Sharp. Bye-bye.
Showcase.
Peace.
Or maybe Thursday.
Don't get them excited.